Okay, welcome back, creatures of the night, as we continue our journey through Undertaker's many gimmick matches. And we are coming to you with a special September/October episode with a double feature of the Biker Chain match at No Mercy 2003 against Brock Lesnar and the TLC Chairs match against Batista in 2009 at the inaugural TLC pay-per-view. And of course, as always, joining me on this watch along, ride along is my good friend from Twitter, Randy Turco. How are you doing today? And thank you again for showing up for another ride in Undertaker's gimmick match ride along.
Man, thanks for having me. I'm high and dry up here in Minnesota. No problems. Better question is, stand back. There's a hurricane coming through.
Yeah, I know. It came through.
We are a week late. We on our September episode, which is officially October as we record this, but that's because the hurricane was going through. You live in the Florida area.
I do.
Not to give too much away, but you live in the Florida area, and there was that hurricane going up and down the coast. Better question, how are you doing? How did it affect you?
I am good. It only gave us winds and rain. I live closer in the mainland of Florida, so it just passes over us like a tropical storm by the time it gets to me. So very blessed, very grateful. More than I can say about Southern Florida. They got hit really hard. Even Orlando got a lot of the gist of it. So glad to be further north from that. But yeah, just between that and scheduling conflicts, had to push it to October. So glad that we're doing like a double feature. So we get like 2 for the price of 1 today.
Yeah, I had to be delayed a couple days because I had one of my son's daycare colds. He brought daycare germs home.
He always giving you daycare germs.
Right, as soon as it starts to be fall. But so I thought I was bringing you the sob story with like, man, I don't think I sound very good. I don't sound very radio friendly. Very podcast friendly. I'm like, and then you're like, well, I got one better for you. I got a hurricane
coming through.
Like, okay, you win. So we waited a week to be able to get this in, but I'm happy to be here and get it in. It's going to be awesome. These are 2 good matches.
Yeah, always good to have you on. I look forward to this monthly. See what kind of gimmick match, what kind of match that I've not seen for a while, not seen multiple times. So I love doing this monthly. We unearth matches from the Undertaker that maybe a lot of people have not seen since it went live. And I assume probably one of these or maybe both of these fall into that category today.
Yeah, I think we put them together just because it's almost the same match. Chains match, chairs match. Like they're only 1 letter off, right?
Yeah, and not only that, it was a one-off for the Undertaker. He had 1 biker chain match. He had 1 chairs match. So.
Yep, absolutely. And both involve getting a foreign object that it's a pinfall submission match either way, but both involve one particular object is legal to use.
Yep. Only that object's legal. Nothing else is. You can't give people low blows. Spoiler alert.
Right.
You can't hit them with anything else that's not legal in the match. And that's basically what these matches are built upon. 2 of Undertaker's best rivals. And one-off matches for the Deadman.
Which it's funny to say that 2 of his best rivals. I think that's true because usually when we talk about Undertaker, some of his best matches and rivalries are with the smaller guy that can bump around for him, like a Shawn Michaels, could, like an AJ Styles did in the Boneyard match. Like those seem to work better for him. But at least at this point in time, 03, 09, Taker was still agile enough himself. He had some pretty good rivalries with both of these monsters.
Yeah, he brings out the best in Batista and Brock Lesnar, and they bring out more of the vicious monster side of the Undertaker.
Absolutely.
So we are getting started with No Mercy 2003, Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship in a biker chain match. And I am queued up on Peacock at 2:10:29. How about yourself?
I was at 2:13:28. So Tony Chimmel is starting to announce, I guess, the point of the match, which we've already covered, I guess, just now. But 2:13:28. See, you button hooked me because I usually go for the entrances for more time to talk.
I thought you were
And
going
then-
for the promo, the entrances. So I said, I'll start it right here. And then
you usually give me, nah, screw that. Let's get right to the match. Well, we
hey, a reversal of fortune today. A
Right.
reversal of fortune. So I'm okay with that. I'm totally cool. 2:13:28.
Yep.
And so we count it down. We get started. Are you ready?
I am ready. The only build-up notes that I have on the match is this is the end of the ABA Big Evil Undertaker. So this is he's got this match, and then he's got the next match with Vince McMahon at Survivor Series, and that's it. And Vince has kind of quite the 2 months because he faces Stephanie at this pay-per-view. He faces his own daughter, and then he faces Undertaker in a Buried Alive match at Survivor Series. But that is the end of the Biker Taker, these last 2 matches. So he's kind of circling the drain and getting ready to kind of go back into the Disney vault and come out as Deadman again.
The Disney vault.
And he is rocking we won't see it in the vignette. We won't cover that, but in the vignette build up for this pay-per-view match, they show him rocking the red sweatshirt, the Big Evil red sweatshirt. So that's why I'm wearing it today. They show that was kind of the time that was a thing.
Yes, when he gets choked by Brock.
Yeah, and I bought this at WWF Niagara in 2004.
My God.
When they had like the pile driver roller coaster on top of the building. And of course I went there, it was like winter, so there was no roller coaster riding that day. But I did pick up this shirt in 2004. I went there with my girlfriend at the time for like a romantic weekend in Niagara Falls. We had the hotel room with the with the hot tub in front of the TV, and the hot tub is shaped like a heart. So very classy.
Very classy.
All the way. I didn't keep the girl, but I kept the sweatshirt. So I think it's in good shape. Right?
I was going to say, did she become your wife? Because if she did, God bless her.
No, she did not. But I got the red sweatshirt, the Big Evil Pain Syndicate sweatshirt from 2004. So when I saw that in the vignette, I was like, oh, I know what I'm wearing for this podcast.
Yes.
And let's see what else there was. Keys to Victory. So throughout this pay-per-view, they would show periodically like the Undertaker's Keys to Victory later tonight. And there was like 3 bullet points, but it was like, get the chain. And then Brock Lesnar, like his keys to victory, get the chain. I was like,
oh, I remember that. Is that like Taz's keys to victory?
Right. I was like, of course.
I remember that from the Buried Alive match, like Vince McMahon's keys to victory, avoid the hole. Well, no shit.
Right. And this is the second straight, like you were saying before we went on air, I think this is the second straight fall with Brock Lesnar. So the Undertaker, after Brock, wins King of the Ring, he wins the undisputed title. And immediately they put him with Undertaker in the fall of 2002 to kind of like legitimize him as the next big thing, which they should be doing. And like you said, Unforgiven, they kind of wrestled to like a tie or a DQ, because that's the one where Taker throws Brock through the Unforgiven sign, which I thought was awesome.
Iconic. They still show that stuff.
Right. And then at No Mercy 2002, a year before this, they had their Hell in a Cell with Taker's got the cast, and they famously don't, it's a bloodbath, and they don't leave the actual Hell in a Cell. Like that was kind of the standard at that time, was they're going to break out, they're going to jump off of it, but or throw somebody off of it. And this one stayed grounded, but it was still really good. And I think Alex and Travis at Talking Taker just covered it. Well, they covered it in episode 92 initially, but then they just did a watch along this month on there. So check their archives out for more.
Yeah, check out their archives and the newest retrospective.
And then, so then you get to Royal Rumble 03 in January, and Lesnar wins by last eliminating the Undertaker. And I thought at that point, he's never going to win a Royal Rumble. We're never going to see it. They're never going to give it to the Undertaker. Little did I know. Yeah. And then you kind of fast forward to here to today, No Mercy 03. They're facing each other in a biker chain match. So this is a rivalry that's kind of spanned a year now. Second straight fall with the Undertaker. And like we were talking about, Lesnar, he wins most of these. I mean, this is all about Undertaker making Lesnar look good, and he does a good job doing that. Lesnar does hit the Undertaker with a chair during a undisputed title match with Kurt Angle, which kind of how we reinvigorate this feud after 10 months or however long it's been. And then Taker adds the chain to the match because it's a biker chain match. So he's a biker. So I guess it's a biker chain match. But I ask you, Steven, as the biker chain expert here.
Oh, Jesus.
If it was a biker chain, wouldn't that be the chain off the bike? It's just a regular chain, man.
It is. It's just a regular chain.
It's just a regular chain.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all it's just a regular chain on a pole. And that's all I had for the pre-match build-up notes. So now I'm ready.
Okay. Now we're ready.
Yes.
You are dressed to the nines. Unfortunately, for those listening, Chalkline has Red Devil inspired Undertaker gear now available on their shop. So of course I dabbled to order myself an Undertaker jersey and shorts, but it had not come in time for this Undertaker badass match. So unfortunately that would have to wait until a next watch along. So just wanted to put that little tidbit out there that I will eventually be dressed to the nines one of these days for these badass watch-alongs, as you always continue to show me up every time, Randy.
Well, you're wearing the black plain T-shirt. That's very Undertaker Unforgiven '99 before he walks out on Vince. He's just kind of wearing street clothes for those couple of weeks. So
right?
Yeah.
Right? It's just like Undertaker just showing up. You know, like, you're glad I'm here.
Right.
If only I should bring back the old sunglasses indoors look. Just wear sunglasses like him, the bandana.
Right.
Not.
Well, Talking Taker, they always point out the I think they were yellow sunglasses. Didn't Taker wear some yellow sunglasses a couple of times on
yellow brimmed? Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good times.
Yeah. I know, right? It's so 90s. Undertaker, a fashion icon.
Yes.
Fashion icon. We are here, more plainclothes biker Undertaker, and we are ready to begin at season 5, episode 1, No Mercy 2003 on Peacock, queued up at 2/13/28. And you ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So 3, 2, 1, play.
And there is allegedly the biker chain on a pole.
The Judy Bagwell on a pole?
Yeah, it's so many of these chain matches before were all about like hooking the wrestlers together so they couldn't get away from each other. This is different because this is literally putting a chain on a pole so it can be used as a weapon. And here comes Undertaker in that Worldwide Evil shirt. That's his last Biker Taker shirt, and man, do I want it. I am searching the eBay for a decently priced medium. Of course, that's hard to come by, and in decent quality too. But man, do I want that shirt because that's his last Biker Taker shirt. That one eludes me. He's riding his bike around the ring.
It's crazy. He does not become champion again until 2007. Such a gap between 02 and 07.
Right, and he's only going to win the big gold belt from here on out. He's not going to win the WWE championship. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it's just so crazy to think about how different his character is going to be in, 4 months or 5 months compared to what it is right now.
Yeah. And Undertaker he always had these big WWE championship matches in between winning the big gold belt. And it's amazing that the people that he fights against are able to win against him. Like Lesnar again here, JBL, Kurt Angle. It's amazing.
Taker's hair, as you can see, it's kind of flowing a little bit over his do-rag. So I think he's gotten the memo. Don't cut your hair. Avoid the barber for the next few months.
Avoid the barber.
Avoid Brutus the barber because they know he's going to be coming back as Deadman Taker in March. And here comes Ruthless Aggression, Series 1, Brock Lesnar with
Ruthless Aggression Series 1
with the title.
And that goes for Jack's Ruthless Aggression Series 1 or Mattel Ruthless Aggression Series 1.
I think I told you guys, you and Alex in our group chat, our group text, that I just bought of course, Lesnar, a famous golden gopher. I'm not famous, but I'm a golden gopher.
You're not famous.
But at my favorite dive bar on campus called the Big Ten, it's closed now. They used to have a 6-foot poster of Brock Lesnar with like all of his measurements, like his legs, his biceps, and it just had this big giant poster of him in his Minnesota Gopher wrestling singlet. And so I've always wanted that poster. The place closed down. I never could get a hold of it. I had an eBay tickler for 6 years looking for it, and somebody finally posted it. I bought it for $50, but I'll tell you, I took it to Michael's, the craft store, to like get it framed. And I took it with a 70% off coupon thinking, all right, I'll be in good shape. But because it's such a oddly shaped poster, it's 6 feet long. It is $364. So it is, and that's with the coupon. So it's like $1,000.
Holy crap.
And so I reluctantly, because I'm in it now, man, I paid it, and it is, I don't have it now, but maybe our next watch along, I'll have it. It is at Michael's getting framed so I can put it above my weight bench eventually in the gym. It says Brockfist of Champions instead of Breakfast of Champions. Like, how amazing is that?
Wow. That is dedication to frame a 6-foot poster of Brock Lesnar.
And my wife is kind of an expert on framing stuff. So I'm like, is this my best bet? And she's like, I think it is. I really like, it's going to run you at least that much.
Wow, I can't believe they took it from you. They took a 6-foot poster from you and willing to frame this thing.
Yep. And that normal price was $1,000, and then the 70% off coupon brought it to $364.
My God.
Oh my gosh. But it's going to be so worth it when it's over. And maybe if I run into Brock one day, I'll have him sign it.
You have to tag him on social media, see if he'll see it.
Right. He seems fan friendly. Well, now he does.
Now.
Yeah, now he does. Yeah. Brock is in the ring right now and got Taker in the corner.
Yeah, a reversal of fortune again, as Undertaker's usually the one pinning the people in the corner.
Taker came out to "You're Gonna Pay." I don't know if you could hear that. We got the sound turned down, but he did come out to the "You're Gonna Pay." Obviously, that's WWE, so that wasn't taken off of the Peacock.
Nope. I think he's had that all 3 right now.
Yeah.
I think that's what he came back to at the Royal Rumble.
Taz is trying to get over in this match on commentary. He's billing Brock Lesnar as the Manster, which is yeah, I think that's kind of what they're doing with Powerhouse Hobbs on AEW. They're calling him the Monstar, but Taz is trying to get him over as the Manster, and obviously that doesn't work.
Stop trying so hard, Taz.
Right. Taker going to try the old school here because it looks like it.
Trying to weaken his arms.
The old school, we had a pretty good streak going with these watch-alongs until last month. He didn't hit it for the first time.
Yeah. Also, Undertaker's elbow, the left elbow, has like an elbow pad and also like a movable cast on his arm.
Yeah, he's got a brace on there. I don't know. Yeah. I don't remember if that's a legit injury or if he's selling something. That much I don't remember. Staph infection? I don't know. Oh, I see the WrestleMania 20 sign is up there in the rafters. I think WrestleMania 20 is the first year for the WrestleMania sign. We haven't evolved to pointing to it yet, but we do have the sign up there.
Yes, I don't believe. Yeah, that's the first time a WrestleMania sign I think makes an appearance.
Yeah,
because I don't think WrestleMania 19 had a sign up there.
No, I don't think so. Oh, we're going old school again.
Here we go.
And he's going to nail it again. We're back on track. All right.
Back on track.
I famously said that he never hits it, but he hits it all the time. Wow, a nice little luchador cradle there by the 300-pound Undertaker. That's unusual to see.
Gets his bandana off in a way.
Taker does have the hook on his pants. I just want to point that out. I'm contractually obligated to point that out. I'm going to ask him about that. They're going to have, we never get pay-per-view, but they're going to have a Deadman show somewhere in Chicago or something. And I'm going to ask him about that.
The one Deadman show, that's your time to shine.
That's right. That's right.
It's your time to shine.
Oh, and the elbow across the throat. Very trademark Undertaker there. Michael Cole is saying Taker is in better shape than he was last fall versus Brock. I sure as hell hope so, because he had a broken hand in that match. So I hope
he's in
shape. I do like that they acknowledge that they faced each other last year, though. They don't always
Well,
do
you would,
that.
I mean, you would hope so. I mean, people do remember,
Right, right.
especially such of a bloodbath of a Hell in the Cell match. People remember that,
Wrestling fans are so obsessed. We don't forget, and we get
and
insulted.
and
when
it's
act
very
like
hard for us to forgive.
right, right. I'll agree with that too. Taker get thrown into the stairs. I don't think that's the spot I'd want to take. Is going knees first into some steel steps. I don't think that's for me.
No, I don't think so.
That's one of those spots like I don't know that you can take that easily. That's just you just got to take that one and live with it in the morning.
And we were talking about Vince McMahon earlier fighting Stephanie McMahon in this pay-per-view. And that correlates with this match because Brock Lesnar has taken the side of aligning himself with Sable and Vince McMahon, while Undertaker has chosen to align himself with Stephanie McMahon, the SmackDown general manager.
And what a time that was for me. Stephanie and the Undertaker?
Right?
What a great time for me. What a great time to be alive. Was
Great time to be alive.
Something I don't remember. I don't know if you do either. Was Sable with Brock at this time? Probably not, right? It's probably a little too early, right?
I think it's a little too early. I think they start dating like 04.
Gotcha. Okay. Maybe this is kind of what does it, right? They get a little bit of screen time together. A lot of time you work yourself into a shoot. That's what Stephanie and Triple H did.
Look, I was just gonna say, look at Stephanie and Triple H.
Right. I think you're right. Brock Lesnar is kind of taking it to the Undertaker, who's the best striker in the game. They're kind of letting Brock take it to him mostly. It's kind of interesting to see that.
So both those matches correlate here.
Right. Steph, if I remember correctly, Steph has got the bangs going on in the fall of 03. She's still hot, but the bangs, no, not as good as 01, 02 Steph. But
I think that match with Vince ends her reign as general manager, does it not?
Yeah, because she's gonna get married to Triple H for real. So she's got to like peace out to go do that. And I remember Linda was telling Vince in real life, like, do not bruise her in this match because she's got a wedding, you know?
Yeah. They get married, and that match was an I quit. So she quits her role as general manager.
Right. Taker gave Brock Lesnar a stunner over the top rope, but it was only temporary. Brock back in control now.
Yeah.
And they're back outside, and Taker's taking a lot of he's letting Brock get his stuff in, so to speak.
Yeah. So when Undertaker gets the upper hand, it's all Undertaker. When Brock gets it, it's all Brock.
Right. Oh, here we go. He's going to whip him to the ropes. Reversed. Going to get that Undertaker clothesline. Yes, we are.
Beautiful.
Vintage Undertaker. I think it was a 1 count. Very some good signs in the crowd tonight. Just saw Brock versus Taker. That's accurate, I guess.
That's very, very accurate. I applaud the creativity there. Brock versus Taker.
I saw one earlier that says Undertaker rocks. That's a good one too.
Yeah, yes, he does.
Must have stayed up all night doing that one.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they did.
Oh, and he hung him on the top rope. Just gonna say, Taker's looking for that chain. Nobody has gone for the chain yet. No,
Yeah, and as Michael Cole said just like a couple minutes ago, the chain does not have to be used to win the match.
Sure doesn't. No, but you figure it will be.
It's just there as an added bonus.
Oh, and Taker's about to get the chain, and the lights go out.
Oh.
and the lights come on and there's nobody there, but it does distract the Undertaker enough for Brock to.
Oh, I wonder who's pulling the strings back there.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, who has enough power in the company to shut the lights off?
Taker's going to whip him to the ropes, reversal again, and a power slam. Is that a 1 count, 2 count?
I think it's a 2.
2. We got a 2 on him. So, 22-year-old me watching this match back in the day, I'm thinking, okay, somebody's turning the lights off. We're going to get either a major debut or somebody's going to be turning heel or some major player is the one doing this.
Yeah, totally. It's definitely a major player. I mean, you can't get any more major than the person that's going to be coming in and interfering later.
But I remember thinking the Undertaker's probably not winning at that point because the cards are stacked against him, unfortunately. I remember being very depressed when I saw that happen. Like, oh, this is what's going to happen. Gotcha. The stairs are now in the ring. Brock turns him right side up. I wonder if the stairs are going to factor in here. I honestly don't remember. And I just watched this match like a week ago. I don't remember if the stairs factor in.
Don't ask me. I haven't watched this match in years.
Right. Taker starting to get the upper hand on striking. Oh, and a front drop hold into the stairs by Brock Lesnar. Mr. Beast. He pulls out a technical wrestling maneuver.
Well, his background is in technical wrestling, so he should.
That's true. Breakfast of Champions, right? I've got the poster to prove it.
That's right.
This is where Taker goes for a clothesline. Look at this. Clotheslines him over the top rope and to the floor. Steven, where the hell was this at the Royal Rumble 10 months ago?
Literally. He could have won the Royal Rumble with that move.
Right. He could be the Royal Rumble 2003 champion.
Yeah. He could have fought Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 19. Instead of Big Show and A-Train.
Right. Brock Lesnar could have fought Big Show and A-Train.
Jesus.
Taker's going to go for a pile driver on the stairs here, which I think you said, oh, and you nailed it. I think you said on the mothership last week, I think the pile driver is now banned except for the Undertaker doing like the tombstone.
That's true.
So it's kind of interesting to see him bust this out on the stairs of all things in 2003.
I know.
I guess I understand why they are outlawing it, but that was pretty cool.
We have to make final arrangements on what 3 matches we are going to be watching in October because when we are joined by Alex from Talking Taker, because now I just got the thought maybe we should add the Vince Spirit Alive match in there because that's just awful as well.
Right. There's only so much awful that can go around, but yeah,
there's only so much awful that can go around.
Oh, and Taker's now starting to choke out Brock Lesnar here on the top rope. Taker, a fan of MMA, as we know. He never got into it like Brock did, but 03, 02, 04, you can kind of see that he starts to change up his repertoire a little bit because he is a fan of MMA and UFC. You start to see him do the Kimura lock and things like that. So,
oh, and there's the low blow.
Oh, there is the low blow. It's okay. The Undertaker would get him back in 12 years at SummerSlam.
Right. The whole feud in 2015 revolves around low blows.
That's true. It does.
And low blow again will be prevalent in the next match. So it's a move that haunts the Undertaker in both matches today.
The Brock just hit him with the stairs, so the stairs did come into play.
As they should.
Only a 2 count. Brock still like grabbing his neck from that pile driver. He's still selling it. I'm sure they made the comment. I don't remember, but I'm sure they made the comment that any other man would have broken his neck, but Brock Lesnar's neck muscle, his delts are so thick that it probably saved him.
His neck's just fused with his muscles.
Right, of course.
He's got no neck at it anyway.
Oh, and Taker kicks the stairs back in Brock's face when he tries it a second time.
Classic Undertaker reversal.
I also don't remember if there's any blood in this match. That'd be a perfect time for Brock to blade right there, but I don't see anything.
Oh, okay. There goes the steps.
Oh, the stairs are eliminated from the Royal Rumble. Oh, and Brock's going to back him into the corner now. Just driving the shoulder into the midsection. So Brock's going to go for it. Brock almost doesn't look tall enough here to like grab the. I mean, he almost doesn't look tall enough to grab it.
I'm just thinking, why is that pole so freaking long?
Right. And then Taker reverses his attempt into a last ride.
Another classic Undertaker reversal.
Oh, but Brock jumps out of it. That was a good counter. And a double clothesline a la Hogan and Warrior at WrestleMania 6. That's the first time I ever remember seeing that. Kind of reset the match. Everybody's on the floor. It's late in the game. Who's got more gas in the tank? That was a good counter. Him jumping over Taker's head right before the last ride and getting out of it. That's pretty cool. They're both, oh no, Taker's on his knees, but Brock's on his feet.
They're both pretty evenly, even playing field right now. They're both worse for wear. They're both fatigued.
They're throwing haymakers at each other, as you would expect in this match.
And no signature moves or finishers utilized yet.
Right. No F5, no tombstone. Didn't even get the last ride in.
Not even a choke slam or anything like this.
He's doing his stinger splashes right now.
Oh, snake eyes.
We're going to do the snake eyes. Very trademark with the big boot.
Big boot.
Boom. He's signaling for the choke slam, but he's too tired to actually do it. I don't know that a choke slam would put him away, but I guess it would just put him away enough to get the chain. Oh, and a meaty pop. Choke slam attempt.
Yeah.
Oh, and Brock jumps out of that too.
Oh, spine buster.
Oh, and a Farouk spine buster.
A Farouk spine buster. You have the legend 16 Farouk on the mind.
Oh, and Taker reverses the cover attempt into the Kimura lock, which is funny in retrospect, knowing that Brock's going to go on to become UFC champion.
Yeah, and utilize the Kimura lock.
Right. Brock's fading slowly. Brock's up to his feet, and he just picks Taker up like a rag doll, and he power slams him like I would my 4-year-old son. Look at that. Unbelievable. Brock Lesnar's a house now at 45 or whatever he is years old.
House.
I mean, let alone whatever. Brock Lesnar was an animal at whatever he was at this point, 22. I have no idea. Taker's on Dream Street. Oh, and a clothesline. Is anybody going to get the damn chain? This is a biker chain match after all. Each guy has went for it once, but nobody's actually come close. Taker had the lights shut out on him.
Yep. By an unknown assailant.
Yes. Oh,
Oh,
Taker care of business. We have a Taker care of business sighting here.
Our first one ever right now.
Right. Brock slugs him in the face and turns it into an F5. So there's your signature move right there.
Yeah. First time signature move.
Can't believe that would be enough when you have a biker chain match and we haven't used the chain yet. But let's see. 1, 2. Oh, and Taker, the wily veteran, puts the leg on the rope. Always got to know where you are in the ring.
I'm surprised Hebner caught that.
Right? Be real easy to count 3 and say, my bad, I didn't see it.
Yeah, literally. I mean, he must have been notified that's going to happen.
This is Hebner Jr., of course, as the they call him in the back, but I think it's Brian Hebner, right?
Yeah, it's Brian Hebner.
Brock's going to go for the chain again. I don't know that he can reach it.
I really don't think he can. That's really an obnoxiously long pole.
Right. But Taker's going to get in the way here again. Just grabbing at his foot. Just yank him off of there. Oh, and now he got him by the goozle, and now we're going to choke slam from the top.
So we got a choke slam in.
There's our choke slam on your bingo card. You know,
a non-existent bingo card.
Right. So Taker's got a free pass to the chain now. Are the lights going to go out again? What's going to happen here?
It should have been whoever grabs it wins.
Right. You would assume so.
Oh, I remember these guys.
And here comes the FBI of all people. Like you're thinking, what? FBI have obviously been, or they're, thugs on SmackDown. So they're kind of like the APA in a way. They're not getting paid.
And didn't Undertaker have a match against these guys? I think he did.
I think so. He had like kind of a mini feud with them, but they are like henchmen for hire. So I'm sure they were paid to.
Oh, I wonder who they were paid by.
Right. Taker's wrecking shop on everybody here, but there's just too many of them. It's 4-on-1 right now, essentially. And so Brock immediately gets the upper hand on Taker. He's going to hit he's going to wait for an F5, but it was reversed.
Oh, is he going to get the last ride?
He's going for it.
Oh.
Boom. Last ride in the corner, too. They almost ran out of room there. Brock is dead. I don't know what Taker's waiting for. Either pin the guy or get the chain. Right, pin the guy or...
Oh, he's going to jump.
But he's going to do the flying cow on the FBI outside. Instead of winning the match, he's going to do the flying cow on Palumbo and Johnny Stamboli.
Johnny Stamboli.
Right. It'd be a couple years from now or a year from now, Chuck Palumbo is going to be the guy who picks up the biker gimmick after Taker's kind of done with it.
Oh, my God. What a torch to pass.
Right, right.
Oh, his Nunzio. Yeah, I forgot about him.
Nunzio legitimately is too short. He's trying to climb the pole to get to the chain, but Taker says no ski. And boom, Taker slugs him. Down goes Nunzio.
What a ridiculous events this is.
So Taker does get the chain. Now he's free. He doesn't win anything, but he's free to use it, right?
Yeah.
This is what we all paid for.
Here he comes. Here's the man that put it all in the master plan.
Right. Vince, who we saw earlier, Russell Stephanie. Here he comes. He just racks up Taker on the top rope there. And the chain gets tossed to Brock, who wraps it around his fist. No DQ when it comes to the chain, right?
No DQ.
Vince looking jacked for like 58 or whatever he is here. My God.
I
Brock's
know.
got,
Look at Vince.
no, he's like really excited. Boom. Taker takes one shot. They're putting over this chain so much. He's going to take one shot, and then Brock's going to go to pin him. And that's your match. Brock is still the champion. One shot with the chain. That's how much we're putting over this chain. One shot.
Well, not only that, he had to fight off the FBI. He just did the flying clothesline. Vince gave him the tossing low blow.
Right? And Brock Lesnar walks off with the undisputed WWE Championship. Brock would hold that thing. I mean, he's going to go on to hold it throughout the fall. He's going to lose it to Eddie Guerrero, right? In February of 2004.
Yeah.
He'll lose it to Eddie Guerrero. And then he's not long for WWE. You know, at WrestleMania 20 in March of 2004, he's going to face Goldberg in that match that everybody hated, where Steve Austin was the most over guy out of all of them. And he's off to the Vikings, and he's in the NFL, and he's off to the UFC, and he's only going to be here about 4 more months. And Undertaker, as we mentioned, he's about done being the Deadman, because he's going to come back at WrestleMania 20, or he's about done being the Biker Taker, because he's going to come back as the Deadman at WrestleMania 20. So both of these guys are going to go through some changes. And it's hard to believe Brock was gone for 8 years. We don't see him again until 2012 after WrestleMania 20.
So Vince was under the ring. So he must have came under the ring when the lights went out.
He had to have, right? Because otherwise, you're telling me he was under there since the Stephanie match? I just don't believe that.
No, he had to be there after the lights went out.
Right. Or I don't know how they did it back then, but like sometimes they show like a video package before the match, and they dim the house lights and show it on the big screen. And maybe he snuck out with some of the stage-hands then. Not really sure.
I don't know. You can't really hide Vince that easily.
Right.
Okay, so thoughts on the biker chain match?
So thoughts on the biker chain match? It was damn good. I mean, him and Brock always have good chemistry together, even though it's a lot of kicking and punching. So you're thinking like, but their kicking and punching isn't the same as Undertaker and Giant Gonzalez kicking and punching, right? It's completely 2 different things.
Please leave the Giant Gonzalez talk to our next time here.
Right.
RIP match.
Foreshadowing. Yes. I was thinking of toys. I looked up, and you got to tell me if you've heard of this one. I was looking for a good 2003 representation of the Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
And there is it's a Jakks 2003 figure where it's actually carded SummerSlam. It's modeled after SummerSlam 03. So it's only 2 months before this match. So I think it's a good representation of Taker. He's wearing his SummerSlam attire from SummerSlam 03, which I think he fought A-Train.
Yes.
And the
Where
reason
Sable comes in the ring afterwards and starts feeling him up, and then he holds her for Stephanie.
but what I thought was whimsical about this is it is accurate for the time, but he comes with a freaking chainsaw. Yeah. What is with that? What is with the chainsaw?
I mean, you don't remember Undertaker wielding a chainsaw weekly on SmackDown?
Right.
I mean, come on, he had to defeat that lumberjack of a man somehow.
I guess so. They need a red sweatshirt Taker. I would buy the hell out of the red sweatshirt Undertaker.
Yes, the closest we've ever come to that is the Undertaker red shirt fist as part of Adrenaline Series 4 with John Cena.
And that's not soft goods, right? That's like his.
That's molded, painted on.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, we need a nice red sweater Undertaker Mattel. I agree. That'd be a nice badass ultimate. Give us different badass Undertaker hoodies, t-shirts, all included in that, and make it like swappable, like long hair Undertaker, short hair Undertaker, and you can have like a 5-in-1 action figure of him.
Right. I'd say, because I know he would wear this with like the beanie, but I don't know if they want to try the beanie again.
Give us beanies, give us bandanas.
Right.
Yeah.
Give us some options. I looked up the history of the chain match.
Okay.
Just to see what other ones there were. Now, like we talked about, most chain matches are different than this one because they're to hold people together at the wrist, or sometimes like, Roddy Piper, Greg Valentine had that dog collar match where they're attached at the neck instead of the wrist. Hercules used to fight the Ultimate Warrior on WWF Challenge where they would be hooked at the hands. by a big chain because, Hercules swung a chain back in the day.
Yeah, I remember.
Kane and Triple H had a chain match for the Intercontinental title at Judgment Day 2001 in Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
Rusev and Cena had a Russian chain match. I don't know what made the chain Russian other than maybe it fell under the
Maybe it was produced in Russia. I don't know.
Under communist rule. I don't know, but it was at Extreme Rules 2015 was that match. And then they had today's match in 2003, which again it was different because you could use the chain as a weapon, which they used one time because it's a biker chain and it hurts.
But it was such a powerful chain; it can only be used one time.
That's right.
So its power can only be used once, and whoever wielded it first, which we saw was Brock Lesnar, he got the easy pinfall.
It's like the I'm not a big James Bond guy, but I remember the Golden Gun, like the gun that kills people with one bullet.
Yes.
That's what that is,
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. That's all I had for the Great Chains match. Other than we can't beat Brock Lesnar. Every wrestler has that opponent that is just their kryptonite. And for some reason, Brock Lesnar was always Undertaker's. And again, I love all these folks that come out and say the Undertaker is never willing to put guys over. Are you kidding me?
Right?
All he ever did was lose to Austin. All he ever did was lose to Brock Lesnar. All these guys that he would just I said he would assume the kickstand position, which is he would lay down with his one leg up so they can pin him, because I could not believe when Talking Taker mentioned that the pay-per-view record between Austin and Taker was so close, because growing up, it did not feel that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Austin, Lesnar, Orton, Edge, Batista.
Mankind got a few good wins.
Mankind, Kane, JBL, as much as you hate to say it.
Right.
Rock. Who else? Let's see. Oh my God, the list just goes on and on here. But yeah.
Great chemistry. I think most of his matches with Lesnar are good to great. Whether it be the 02-03 stuff or whether it be the WrestleMania 30 2015 stuff that we would see later on in their careers. I mean, they were all entertaining. I can't think of any absolute stinkers that I can think of. I mean, they always had some level of entertainment to them. Again, there's just such a difference between their two hosses getting in there and kicking and punching and striking versus like what him and King Kong Bundy did. It's completely different.
Yeah. And even people that you didn't have to win against Undertaker for him to get you over, like Jeff Hardy, CM Punk, Roman Reigns.
Right.
You had the Shield beat him and Kane and Daniel Bryan on that Raw.
Right.
You have things that you don't have to beat him, or he can still win and still get you over, or you can defeat him and he can get you over that way. I mean, it's a two-way street, because you have to make sure you get over as well as him helping you, because we've seen it fail with Heidenreich, Kozlov. Remember that?
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah. Kozlov, Heidenreich, Big Daddy V, stuff like this.
It's kind of a nice complete circle, because you see young Taker come in, and it was a different business back then, but you see him come in and he's getting put over by the likes of Superfly Snuka, who used to be the Phenom. That he was the first one, right? And he puts him over at WrestleMania 7. And then I remember Bobby Heenan saying, like, that's Jimmy Snuka he just beat in 5 minutes. That's Jimmy. Like, so Jimmy Snuka goes out there and lays down for this young guy who we don't know that this is going to work out yet. This is he's
Jake Roberts,
right?
Hulk Hogan.
Right. And all within the first year. We don't know this guy's going to work out and have a 30-year career. We don't know that. And it's cool to see it come full circle, because then as towards the end, Taker's handing out those same torches for other guys, like you said, Roman Reigns, letting Lesnar have the streak, whether we agree with it or not. He didn't take his ball and go home like Steve Austin when he heard the news. He was just like, okay, it's not, I'm the character, I play the character, but it's not my call. So, okay.
Well, that's why Vince let him know like 3 hours before the show. So, you can't leave now, pal.
Right. Good call. So Vince screwed him in this match, and then Vince would screw him in real life at WrestleMania 30. That's what we're saying.
Well, as we known by recent events, Vince loves to screw.
That is true.
So
He is a
there we
genetic.
go.
He is
He is a genetic jackhammer. He can't help it.
Right. I thought that was a promo all these years. I didn't know it was shoot.
My God. Yes. And unfortunately, it was not with Linda. So, so we digress. But now we move on to the final stage of today's episode, the TLC inaugural pay-per-view in 2009, where Undertaker reignites an old rivalry with Batista in a chairs match. And I have, where you are queued up on the Peacock?
130-10.
130-10, okay. I had 133, so 130-10.
This is what I call nose ring Batista, because he had that stud right here for a while. I don't know why he thought that was a thing to do, but I guess when you're the size of Dave Batista, you can pretty much do whatever you want. But nose ring Batista,
who's gonna say anything to you?
Right. Right, not me. Not a call I would have made personally, but good for him. He turned heel on his tag team with Rey Mysterio, and he decided to go after the World Heavyweight Championship. And he does attack The Undertaker during his title match with Chris Jericho, and he attacks him with a chair.
A steel chair. And now during Undertaker's sacred entrance people pay money to see.
That's true.
Batista interrupted it.
That's like
Undertaker was wearing his greatest hits attire here.
You got it.
I'll make sure to pick this up at ringsidecollectibles.com. Use any type of 10% discount and get and add the greatest hits Undertaker to your collection today.
Or you can wait to see it in the wild, which will probably never happen at a store near you.
Good luck with that. I am still, if it wasn't for you, I would still be waiting on those superstars Undertaker. Yeah,
me too. I canceled my pre-order, but I have heard people have their pre-orders open still, and they have heard nothing about them. So it's good to know to put that to bed.
One month's a joke.
So he attacks him with a chair, and I was gonna say he does that in that greatest hits sleeveless cloak, and this is different from their 2007 feud that they had at WrestleMania 23 and Backlash the following month, because they were kind of both faces or tweeners. This is definitely heel Batista, so you do get that different dynamic here than we got the first time. And kind of like that chains match, the chairs match is pinfall submission as normal, but chairs, the use of chairs are legal. Whether you want to sit in one or whether you want to smack somebody with it, it's all legal.
It's all your discretion.
Right. Absolutely.
So we are queued up for season 1, episode 1 of Tables, Ladders, and Chairs, 2009, Undertaker versus Batista, an old rivalry reignited at 1:30:10. Are you ready?
I am ready.
So 3, 2, 1, play.
I think you're right. This is season 1, episode 1 of TLC. So this is the first TLC pay-per-view, and I didn't realize TLC ran so long. It was just replaced in 2021 by the Day 1 pay-per-view on January 1st.
Okay.
So it had a pretty long run, to be honest with you. I kind of didn't pay attention to that. I think one of those years was in Minneapolis, and I think I was there for that. Taker wasn't there, but I was there.
Oh, well, see.
Right.
But yeah, so, as you said, the dynamic has shifted here. In the 2007 feud, people love The Undertaker, but people also loved Batista. And Batista and Undertaker, the dynamic was split. It was more of, let's say, a feud to say who's better than the other, trying to see who can outmatch the other. But this one, totally different. Undertaker, the pure face, and the champion. Batista, the pure heel here. And Batista's goal is to regain the title. He doesn't care what means necessary, doesn't care how he has to do it. And as we've seen, attacking him through his entrance with a steel chair, setting up this match, and being totally against the fans, it's a totally different dynamic from the original feud.
Did you notice no Batista pyro here? Because he normally comes out and he does the boom, 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 boom. No Batista pyro for heel Batista, because we don't want to cheer this guy, right? They don't want him to. They don't want us to cheer him. So he comes out with no pyro, which is weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
And I'm fully confident here. 28-year-old Randy is fully confident. We just saw Sheamus, who was a rookie back then, beat John Cena in a tables match for the WWE Championship in a shocker.
Yeah.
We just saw young Drew McIntyre.
Yes, Drew McIntyre.
He won the IC belt with an unshaven chest, that Drew McIntyre. So I was pretty confident we're not going to have 3 singles titles change in the same night. I mean, never say never, but I was pretty confident that we were good to go here.
We came close. We
Sure.
came close.
Did you have this SmackDown versus Raw?
Oh, of course. Of
I'm
course.
sure you did. Yeah.
Ever since I started playing wrestling games, I got them every year.
Sure.
Because you can't stop. I mean, once you're on a roll, you're on a roll.
Absolutely. Well, updated roster and updated, maybe it was a different creator wrestler that year.
I wish that they would have, Undertaker, Batista would have gone to that, all those chairs there and maybe yanked them all down and have them fall on them. That would be such a cool image.
I feel like they did that once, not Undertaker, but I feel like
they probably did, but that would have been quite the match visual.
Right.
Reminds me of King of the Ring 99 when Austin pushes all those ladders on the McMahons.
Sure. Kind of a waterfall.
Yeah.
So we have Taker's grand entrance. Like you said, people pay just to see this. I mean, it's like you said that Batista robbed that SmackDown crowd of it. I mean, you kind of Jericho singing his Judas song on AEW. People show up to do that, man. If you yank that from them, they get ornery. Taker,
they get ornery.
They get ornery. Look at all this smoke and stuff on Taker's entrance. I often wonder, like, how the hell? I know he got burned one time coming up here in a couple months, but how the hell does he know where to go? I would fall off the side of the stage. I would be lost. Walking, look at all this smoke. I have no idea where he is right now.
And the fans can only see like a brim of a hat.
Right.
It's like, is he here? Is he there?
I have no idea. And they have to keep cutting back to Batista because they can't figure out where the hell he is. I don't know how he doesn't fall off the stage.
Such a great visual though.
Oh, of course. I mean, I don't know if there's a better entrance in wrestling, period. And that goes back to with all these effects and the clouds and the pyro, but even in 1990, just when he would walk out to that Chopin funeral dirge, I mean, that's just awesome. And of course, he's going with the, I know he had the greatest hits jacket and that one SmackDown, but he's going with the open coat. I know Taker's talked about wanting to show off the title when he's champion. So he's going with the open coat tonight. Mm-hmm. And I'm not a WCW guy, but the big gold belt is a pretty belt. Can't deny that.
Yes, especially when it's around somebody like The Undertaker, like Batista, somebody that makes it look good.
So Taker's pants here, I think he's got like that winged demon on his legs. Is that what your figure has on it too? I think that's right. Yeah. Okay. Batista's like running on a treadmill. I don't know what the hell he's doing here, waiting for Undertaker to get in the ring. He's like running in place for 3.5 minutes. Yeah, that nose ring's in.
He's getting his cardio up.
I guess so. It's going to blow up before they even start the match. Michael Cole is mentioning about now that the 2007 feud made Batista a superstar. So again, I enjoy that they are acknowledging the fact that they did face each other 2 years ago, because they don't always do that.
Yeah.
Now, where they won't do it, though, is if it's a feud that Biker Taker had, they won't acknowledge it. But since this was Deadman Taker, they do acknowledge it.
And once again, bringing up that Undertaker has made Batista.
He has, yes.
Even in his victories and in his losses.
Right.
Much like a young Randy Orton and Edge.
I was at WrestleMania 23 in Detroit. I'm biased as hell, but that match went in the middle of the card. And
Yes.
I thought it was awesome. I thought it
That's
was
main
match of the
event
night.
worthy. Main
Right.
event worthy.
The guy won the damn Royal Rumble. How is he not on last? Other than the fact that he's not John Cena. Taker with the eyeliner. I remember that. Wasn't it in the A&E biography, or was it The Last Ride where he tells his dad like,
Yeah,
eyeliner?
the dad watches him put on the eyeliner.
Oh, Batista going right for the chair here. They didn't have any keys to victory on this one, but I bet you get the chair would be one of them.
Yes. Well, Taz is not here anymore. You need Taz to have Taz's keys to victory.
Well, that's true. Although Matt Stryker, he's a commentator here, so I don't know that that's much better. But Matt Stryker says he says Batista drinks more protein, so therefore his bones are bigger and he can absorb chair shots easier than the Undertaker. And I wish I was kidding.
Wait.
I wish I was kidding.
That doesn't make sense at all.
He drinks more protein in his diet, and therefore his bones are bigger and he can absorb chair shots better than the Undertaker can. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Matt Stryker.
Right. Oh, we'll hear more from Matt Stryker as the evening goes on.
Oh, I can't wait.
Boom, big clothesline. This match is starting off a lot like the Brock match. A lot of kicking and punching and striking, but these are just two. This is a hoss fight, you know?
And just looking at the crowd, DX is really dominating the merch here.
I do notice the Shawn Michaels DX cowboy hat. Everybody's buying that.
The Shawn Michaels DX cowboy hat and the DX glow sticks.
Yes. DX is going to main event this show with Jericho, of all people, after this match.
Oh my
DX
God.
and Jericho for the tag team titles. Yeah.
I can't believe Sheamus and Cena did not main event.
No, yeah, that was even earlier, believe it or not.
Even earlier. As I remember correctly, Cena goes through a table.
Yeah, I was shocked at that. I was glad to see that. Sheamus was a new guy, and I was sick of Cena at that point. Both guys have gone for a chair, and nobody's really gotten to use it yet. Oh, Taker going for another one, not getting to use it.
Wow, great throw there.
Right, that was kind of a great throw on the fly.
Yeah, he was grabbing it, walking, and just tossed it.
With the no look. It was a no look pass. Oh, and Taker throws him into the announcer's position where the timekeeper is.
That timekeeper, great reflex to grab that belt.
Yeah, Mark Eaton got the hell out of Dodge. I would too. Mark Eaton's the same guy that he pitches Stone Cold his beers, right?
Yes.
Pretty good job with that, yeah.
He's been around forever. I wonder if he's still there.
I don't think so, but maybe he is. Oh, Taker goes for the big boot, and he ends up getting nothing but the barricade.
Looks like Batista's blown up already.
Well, because he was running on the treadmill during the whole.
Literally. He's got those big bones.
Batista's the first one to use the chair. Boom, jabs him in the stomach, jabs him in the ribs. Puts a chair on top of him and hits him with another chair. All legal here, all legal. Still got to get him in the ring and pin him. Oh, he slams Taker up against the pole.
Oh, Taker just dodging that chair shot.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever used a baseball bat and hit a pole, but it hurts your hands. That don't feel good.
Not only that, it resonates all through your vein, through your system and everything.
Oh, Taker's got him on the apron again, and he kicks him in the head. He's going to go up and do that patented Taker leg drop. Boom. Batista with some good selling there. I have in my notes he did not go for the leg drop in the last match, so maybe that's where maybe that's why he lost. I don't know.
Well, you never know.
Goes for the weak cover. Got a 2 though.
Oh, he's pulling Batista towards the turnbuckles here, trying to go for old school. See if he connects. Oh, stopped.
Oh, he got stopped. He didn't even get a chance to climb the rope, so I don't know if that counts as an attempt.
You got a #1 Cena hater, but also Undertaker rocks.
Yeah, that's what Undertaker rocks is. Yeah,
there
Undertaker
it is.
rocks.
#1 Cena hater. Let's see what else. DX rocks as well.
No, a lot of people rock tonight.
A lot of people rock. Is anybody rolling?
Are we gonna get a superplex here? A Bret Hart superplex from the 300-pound Batista onto the 300-pound Taker?
What are we doing if we don't? And there we go.
Boom! Huge superplex. Little Nate is our referee.
Yeah, he almost got smacked with the chair when Undertaker tossed it in.
You think all those people still have those DX hats? You think they still have them at their house? What the hell do you do with that? Although this is coming from the guy who's got an Undertaker hat hanging just over there on a hook.
Well, that's because we're collectors. We would keep
course.
such a thing.
It's very different.
I mean, if somebody's just buying it for the day, you know, that stuff's getting thrown out of the next spring cleaning.
Right. Big back body drop onto the chair. So I guess Taker finally uses the chair there.
It's why it's amazing to see some things that survive that get listed on eBay. It's amazing, like things from 1990 survive, things from 95 survive people's collections. It's like, wow, people actually held on to this.
Yeah, and then there's some things that just don't. Like you sent the link a couple months ago for that inflatable tombstone. I've never seen that in my life. Where the hell did that come from? You know, so not many of those survived.
Apparently not. As I continue to watch that to this day.
I frogged myself because I put a eBay tickler and a Mercari tickler for inflatable tombstone, but it's Halloween, so I am getting just plowed with irrelevant crap, you know.
You need inflatable WWE tombstone or Undertaker tombstone or something like that. You can't just have tombstone.
I need to fix it. It wasn't a problem in like July, but now it's a problem.
Now it's a problem.
Right.
Especially on Mercari.
Yeah, I need to fix that. I don't know. I've only seen the one that you sent me though. I've only seen that one. I forgot. Well, that was like 60 or 70, but that guy needs to take a best offer. That's what he needs to do.
Yeah, I think it's like 40 or 50.
Oh, it's 40 or 50. He still needs to take a best offer.
I know. I don't feel comfortable spending anything more than $20 on something like that.
Right. If you're listening out there.
Yes. If you happen to be listening right there, send me an offer for $20 and you can sell it.
Right. Batista, meanwhile, has wedged a chair in the corner, and usually whoever sets it up is the guy that's going to go through it. So we'll see how that plays out.
Oh, nice Undertaker clothesline there.
Perfect. Oh, we're going to go old school.
No, hang on. See if he can pull it. Can he pull it off?
He's actually going to get to the top rope this time.
Okay, we got to the top.
He's walking it.
Ah, got it.
Boom. 2 for 2 tonight.
Yeah, 2 for 2.
That proves every single time he hits it that I'm an idiot, because I said at the beginning of this thing that he never hits it.
Oh, he's going for Snake Eyes.
Oh, we're doing Snake Eyes Big Boot right now. Taker's double parked.
Oh, it's caught.
Oh, and he got speared instead. Batista did his homework. 1, 2. 2 count. Batista, he's got a lot of wrinkles in his scalp. He's a wrinkly guy.
I know. Yes, he's got the Triple H disease.
He's got the wrinkly scalp, and then he's got those neck hot dogs in the back there.
He's just like Triple H now.
Right. They're brothers that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Triple H looks like overnight he aged like 10 years.
Right. And I don't think, well, Batista's not going bald either. You could tell he's choosing to shave his head. And like Triple H's hairline looks fine too. I'm like, why are you doing this, dude? Why?
I don't know.
Oh, we're going to go for the
Hell's Gate.
Yeah, Hell's Gate.
Closer to the ropes, though, so I think Batista's going to grab him.
Batista's fading here. You can see all the wrinkles in his freaking head.
Oh, my God.
Somebody get that guy an iron. Yeah, there he goes. He's got the ropes. So, I don't know. If we were to measure these out, Taker and Batista, this is a chairs match. Who do you think's been in the tattoos chair, the tattoo artist chair longer? Undertaker or Batista? Who's got more going on? I think they're pretty even on the arms, but Batista's got a lot going on his back there.
Yes, Undertaker's got his full arms and he's got the neck.
Right.
So Batista's got the full back and most of his arms. So, it's close.
Yeah, Taker's got that weird guy on that like stick figure on the back of his neck, you know?
Yeah.
And he's got like the Sarah, which is now crossed out, and he's got like the two daughters on his neck.
Yeah, he's got like the daughters and the flames here. So it's like,
And the BSK.
Yeah, I'm going with Undertaker.
It is a photo finish on who's been in the.
And Batista hits the chair.
Whoever sets it up is the one that goes through it.
Oh, yeah, nice clothesline.
Nice power clothesline by the Undertaker. Quick cover here. No chance that he's going to win a chairs match by clothesline. I don't think. What's going to do the trick here? We're looking for a choke slam. Everybody's standing up in their cowboy hats, seeing what's going to happen here.
Everybody's standing up in their cowboy hats.
Meaty pop, and he choke slammed him. He didn't jump out of it like Brock did. 1, 2.
Oh,
2 count.
What's it going to take to put him away?
Maybe, I don't know, a chair.
A chair?
Taker running the thumb across the throat. That's funny. My mom used to do that when I was on the phone too long as a teenager, and I'm not kidding. She would come in and be like, which meant get the hell off the phone. Oh, and a low blow. There's your difference right there. Batista being a heel this time around. He can use that low blow. Taker writhing in pain. I mean, it's like he got electrocuted. Batista's got the chair. Boom, like a cannon to the head. Batista with the cover. 1, 2, 3, and Batista and new WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
Is nobody gonna stand up for the rules here? Is nobody gonna restart this match?
Unbelievable
because of a illegal low blow.
Right, chairs are legal, not groin shots. Batista's gonna take his wrinkly scalp and his belt, and he's getting the hell out of here.
Oh, who we have here?
Oh
no.
It's Teddy Long blocking everybody on Twitter, and he's blocking this title change.
Got a tag team match player.
Tell him, Teddy. Teddy's going to restart the match. General managers can't reverse a decision, but they can add on to it. So he's essentially going to restart the match right now.
Right.
Teddy blocks Twitter, and he blocks the title change right here. So Batista's going to run in with the chair. Boom. Taker with the big boot to the face. Chair to the face. Taker with the chair. Boom. Shot to the back.
I like how sometimes things like this get restarted. Other times they just turn a blind eye.
Right. Well, it depends if Teddy Long's in the house.
That's right.
Tombstone pile driver. 1, 2, 3.
So cheap. They should have just kept that the same.
Yeah. He should have tombstoned him on the chair if the chairs match, but he did hit him in the back with the chair, I suppose. And he kicked the chair into his face before tombstoning him. And the Undertaker gets to keep his belt. And Taker's going to go on to face Rey Mysterio at the Royal Rumble next month and retain there too before he gets burned, literally, and drops the world title to Chris Jericho at Elimination Chamber in February. And then he's off to Shawn Michaels in WrestleMania 26.
Yeah.
In HBK's career. And Batista, he's not long for the WWE either. He's going to go to help Vince. He's going to be his henchman against Bret Hart leading into WrestleMania 26. He is going to win and lose the WWE title with John Cena. He is going to get FU'd off of a car through a stage at Over the Limit in Detroit. I was there for that. And then the next day after that pay-per-view is the famous night where he quits the WWE.
That's right. Him coming down in the wheelchair with the light on him. I quit.
And he would be gone for 4 years and he wouldn't come back until, he was like Blue Tista and Evolution got back together and all that stuff. I did miss the other awesome note I had from Matt Stryker here. Undertaker has been in Inferno and Buried Alive matches, but none of those were as dangerous as this chairs match.
Yes.
I don't know.
Of course. As a chair that was utilized, I think, approximately 5 times.
Chairs probably hurt like hell, but I think an Inferno match and a Buried Alive match probably more dangerous. In addition to,
because you can risk your life in those.
And in addition to Batista having bigger bones than the Undertaker and therefore can endure chair shots.
Oh Lord.
So
thoughts on the chairs match.
Oh, chairs. This chairs match was good. I mean, this reminded me a lot. I'm glad we put these two together because they kind of flowed the same way.
Yeah.
A lot of striking. They obviously used the chair a lot more than the biker chain, but I thought it was entertaining as well. I think I'm biased on WrestleMania 23 because I was there. That one was better to me. See right now, Batista is he's steaming and he is sitting in a chair, which is legal. Like we said, you can sit in the chair, you can use the chair, all legal right here. But yeah, I think this match was good. WrestleMania 23 was better for me because I was there, but this match was pretty damn good too.
Yeah, Undertaker and Batista always show out, and they show up to give us good rivalry matches.
I even like the finish of their Backlash match where like
where they both
stage fell on them. Yeah, that was pretty cool too. And that was a good match leading up to that. And Batista swatting away Charles Robinson because he's still the heel all the way through the end of the match here.
Yep.
So toys, no better example of toys than the one right in front of you, right? The greatest hits is what I was going to go with. It looks he uses the sleeveless cloak in that in the vignette with when he's attacked in his entrance, winged demons on the pant legs, and the back of the box even touts Taker's dominant 2009.
Yes,
that's what we covered, right?
I agree, and you can't be more dominant than taking it to Batista in a chairs match.
He did, and I looked up the history of the chairs match. And as you mentioned, this is the first TLC match. And I agree with Talking Taker that I don't love gimmick matches being pulled out just because it's December or it's October and it's February. So we got to do Elimination Chamber or whatever. I like it when it's more organic. It's just the end of a feud that it calls for it at the blow off. So I don't love when they had TLC only because they always had one tables match, one ladders match, one chairs match, regardless of where the feud was at. But TLC that was 2009. A year after this is TLC 2010. Wade Barrett and John Cena get the chairs match. Then in TLC 2012, 2 years after that, Big Show and Sheamus get the chairs match.
Boy, it's all downhill after this.
Right. TLC 2014, Kane and the Ryback get the chairs match. TLC 2015, Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger get
Oh my
the
God, this is going way.
chairs match. This one, you'll love this one. TLC 2016, Baron Corbin and Kalisto get the chairs match. And I wish I was kidding. And then TLC 2018, Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton, it's a little better, get the chairs match. So there has been plenty of chairs matches throughout these TLC pay-per-views throughout the years, but I do like it a little better when the blow off calls for it.
Wow. Yes, I agree. I always love, it's like a Hell in a Cell to me. Hell in a Cell, I don't like it overused or overplayed. I like it as a feud ender, like something that two rivals get together and they use that as the blow off. Anything with any type of gimmick match, that's how I feel the same way. I hate gimmick match pay-per-views because I feel like you're just pulling things out of your hat to make it look like a good full pay-per-view. Well, those should be, sprinkled here and there. So I totally get it.
Do we still do Elimination Chamber? I can't remember. Is that still a thing?
Still a thing.
I mean, they should have the match when it calls for it, just not because it's February or October or whatever it is. So things I've added to my collection this month. I mentioned the $364 Brock Lesnar thing already. I did add another thing I can't show physically, but I think I texted you, was my Undertaker cloth tapestry.
Yes.
1992. If you've ever watched a WWF Superstars episode or a big pay-per-view from 92, you probably see somebody in the crowd or on the barricade with that black silk poster with the Undertaker's up close face, kind of making that Deadman scowl with the there's a spider in the corner hanging from the web. I wanted one of those so bad all these years, and anytime they're not posted often, but anytime they're posted, it's like $150, and I'm like, ugh. But I did not pay that. I finally saw somebody posted it. I have to look it up, but somebody posted it, and it was like 60. It was like okay-ish, and I was like, don't even haggle with the guy because there might be other people watching it. Just take it and get out of town because it's not $150 for once. And I can't show it because when I was out of the house on Saturday, my wife hung it up on the wall behind my Undertaker detolf. So basically it is the background to my detolfs. You can see through the glass.
How did she do that without moving the detolfs?
She said she was able, because I thought that too. I was like, I'm gonna have to move the detolfs. Shit's gonna fall over. I'll have to reset it. That's just life. And she did have to take off all the my Halloween mask and all my stuffed bear Undertakers and all the Undertake 'em all, the framed magazine ad that I have. She took all that off the top, but she said she could then slide it in between, like the little gap in between the wall and the detolf. Once she cleared the top, she could like put it down there and then hang it on the wall just the right way where you could see it right through the glass. I don't know how the hell she did it, but she didn't have to move anything. I'm like, how did you move detolfs when I wasn't home? But she worked it like magic,
Wow. Don't ask any questions there.
Nope. And then she put everything back on the top and it looks amazing. So I can't physically show that one, but I did pick up, as you know, the Survivor Series mug. This is a plastic.
The collector, the Michael Jordan of Survivor Series 1990 merchandise.
Yeah. And I had no idea this existed. This wasn't something I was after. This is the Survivor Series, November 22nd, Hartford Civic Center. So we know by proxy that's the night Taker debuts. And on the back they have the card here. So the Dream Team versus the $1 Million Team, 1990 Titan Sports. I believe that this was sold at the arena. I don't know if you get hot chocolate in this or soda. I highly doubt they're serving coffee at the pay-per-view, but maybe. But I know this is because I have searched other ones and they had ones at like Survivor Series 94 mugs that look like the boot.
I love that one.
Oh my God.
I was like, that's hilarious. That's so fun.
Right. That if it was a little lower price, and it also came with a bunch of other crap, but I might buy the boot if it ever came up. But I had no idea. This was even a thing. So I just did it because it was a thing. And then, yes, I am the Michael Jordan of Survivor Series 90 collecting, because there's the button for Survivor Series 90. I just want, this one was like $10-20, but this was just so the Superstars Undertaker that I sent you.
Yep.
My Superstars Undertaker, he holds this in between his hands. And he just holds it up. And then the other thing that I'm gonna unbox live.
Yes.
You sent me this
Yes.
from Florida, just ahead of the hurricane.
Just ahead, just a smidge before.
Is the Bendums, the Just Toys Bendums. I don't know what series 12 looks like this is. This is the only one I did not have as a kid. I don't know what happened to my Bendums. It's very rare for me to not remember what the hell happened, but this is the Just Bendums one I never had. I still, as you saw, I texted you, I still have the cards because they have the cards that come in the back here. And I did cut out the card because I didn't want to mess that up when I unboxed this. So I did cut out the card already, but the figure has never been out. So I do have the other cards. So I can even buy the other Bendums loose if they're in good condition. I can buy them loose because I've already got the cards.
Yeah.
So there's the card from the packaging. It's got all his stats on there. He's the most awesome presence in the World Wrestling Federation. The man from the dark side has held the Federation title on 2 occasions. Haha. This is 1999. So he sent some of the biggest monsters in the sport to a hellish fate. His finishing maneuver, the Tombstone Piledriver, is one of the most devastating in wrestling history. And when the Undertaker applies it, his opponents have no choice but to rest in peace.
Wow, so that was written right before Over the Edge then.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, because this says two-time Federation champion. It does say tag team champion on here too. Yeah. So I'm going to take him out now.
You can just pluck him in from the back.
Boom. And there he is.
Amazing.
He smells like 1999.
Does 1999 have a smell?
Right. He's got that. He's wearing his, of course, I think that's his outfit from like 1999, obviously. But didn't he wear this for against Boss Man and the Hell in a Cell? Like that kind of. And you see, if you can look closely, the camera probably can't catch it, but it does have the 1999 copyright on the back, and his logo is stamped into the small of his stamp. Back.
Yep.
The thing I think it's going to suck about this is, if I remember correctly, these do not stand up for worth a damn. So standing him up in the Detolf ought to be good. I'll probably have to lean him against one of the glass walls or something.
Well, if I know correctly, that the purple Undertaker and the white skin stand better.
So put this guy in the middle.
Put that guy in the middle so that they're both like holding him.
Yeah, this guy's had too much to drink. He doesn't stand up very well at all.
Weekend at Bernie's.
But this is the one I didn't have as a kid. So this is pretty cool to finally get this. So thanks for sending this from Florida.
I'm happy to oblige.
When you were like, I'm going through my inventory, I've got some extra stuff. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with this. I think Alex and I were like, we can help you with that.
I think you can. I think you can. I was like, I don't need 3 Ministry Bendums. Does anybody need these?
No extra other Bendums on the other 2?
I don't know.
All right.
If I would have showed you.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think I'm following a couple of loose ones on Twitter. I think they're a combined $24. That's not too bad.
No, that's actually great.
Yeah. So I might
starting to skyrocket for some.
Yeah. And they look pretty decent. They don't have any dirt or wear on them. You know, you can get wear where like you could see the skin color through the hair or something. So I might just pull the trigger and be done with it, and then have all 3 Bendums, and then we'll see. Maybe I'll get into Paul Bearer. We'll see.
You gotta get Paul Bearer.
I assume you have. Do you have the Paul Bearer?
I do have Paul Bearer.
Does he come packaged with a ring? Yes,
he comes in the ring. But he comes in a little baggie in the thing. Okay. So if you can get him in the baggie, that's great.
Right. Nice.
Yeah.
That's it, man. So we gotta finalize. So next month, and when I say next month, I mean
in 2 weeks. 2 weeks are the Collecting Deadman Halloween special.
Holiday.
Yeah. Still whatever. Halloween gimmick match watch along special, a triple threat of terror, as I like to call it, as I will be joined by Randy Turco and Alex Dorio of Talking Taker fame, as we watch a triple threat of terrifying Undertaker matches, and not our most scary matches, but the most terrifyingly awful matches, as we have briefly talked about earlier. The Giant Gonzalez Rest in Peace match at SummerSlam 1993. And the other 2, it could be any, and anybody could pick the other two, but we were thinking what the Concrete Crypt match
With
against the
Dudleys.
Dudley Boys at Great American Bash 2004. And what do you think?
Maybe you leave it up to, is there a Polsky? We could do a Polsky and see if anybody out there listening that's not us three. If anybody out there has a preference between Boss Man Hell in a Cell,
Or Vince McMahon buried alive.
or Vince McMahon buried alive,
Well,
or if there's,
Vince McMahon, you get the blood. Big Boss Man, you get the hanging.
that's true, you do get to hang a guy.
So
That's very Halloweeny.
it is very Halloween. You know what we'll do? We'll leave it to Alex.
When in doubt, put it on the guy that's not here, right?
Yes, because we picked the other two. We just came to the conclusion we should do a third one since there'd be three of us here. So we'll have Alex pick the third match.
When the matches are so low quality and terrifying to watch as those two and the third one will be.
I mean, the Buried Alive, you get an explosion, you get a bloody Vince McMahon, and you just get a downright awful match. And the Big Boss Man is the lowest Hell in the Cell on Undertaker's totem pole.
By far.
And you just get a hanging at the end. I mean, you can't really compete with that.
Right. Yeah. So there's only one way to get through that and to make sure people are going to listen. Let's bring in a friend. Let's tag in Talking Taker or half of Talking Taker.
That's right.
So we can get Alex's perspective on these three matches that we watch with him. And hopefully that'll get some more eyeballs willing to sit through this with us.
Yeah, because people who are subscribed to my podcast, they're looking there and saying Concrete Crypt match, rest in peace match. I ain't tuning into this one.
But not only do you get us, but you get Alex. And what are friends for if not making them watch crap that is terrible?
Exactly. So we shall initiate that in the group text about which third match would he like to add to it. So which one would be most terrifying for him to endure on that?
We should just not say anything in the text and just let him listen to this episode and discover that he's picking the. We want to find out if he's listening to the product. That's all.
Oh, I assume he does.
I do too.
But that will be coming to you in 2 weeks' time. The Collecting Deadman Halloween Triple Threat of Terror, as we take a look back at three of Undertaker's most terrifyingly awful matches, gimmick matches in his career. But until then, thank you, Randy, for joining me here today. Thank you for sharing with your weekly purchases or monthly purchases since we last were joined here. And I look forward to this every month. So thank you again.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. We were a little delayed because of the natural disaster, not
hurricane or typhoon.
Right. But it's good to get back at it. And I can't wait to do it again in 2 weeks.
Yes, I am the same way. I'm looking forward to it. So make sure to follow Randy on Twitter at Pokey's Little Dog, and make sure to follow me on Twitter at Collect Up Dead, on Instagram at Collecting Dead Man. And you've made it this far into the podcast, make sure to subscribe on your preferred podcast platform. Or if you are watching on YouTube, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and make sure to share this wherever you can. And until next time, Creatures of the Night, guys, make sure to join us in 2 weeks' time. Until same Taker time, same Taker channel, as we keep on rolling, baby. As always. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you.